Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today I'm bringing you a complete squad map tier list I made live on stream. A lot of you guys have been asking for a tier list for a while now, so for those of y'all that did miss the live stream, here it is. There may be some controversial picks here, but let me know your thoughts about my list as well as your #1 pick in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out the live streams at twitch.tv/MoiDawg every Monday through Friday. The live streams are a lot of fun, so I hope to see you there. But that's it for me. Enjoy the video. Peace. All right, what do you think? So the thing is, yes, the what categories? It might be hard to gauge because some of the maps are definitely better maps if they're on a certain game mode. Basra. Now, when Basra comes up, Basra Invasion is usually what people think of. S tier, AA. B max. See, the thing is though, can it be an S tier map when a lot of why people like it is because of one game mode? I don't know if it can be S tier if it primarily is successful because of one game mode. And that's where I'm struggling, because I love Basra. I love Basra Invasion. I also love Basra Insurgency. It's solid, but not great. Maybe if it had decent graphics, it would have been above B. S. Okay, so here's where I'm thinking. With Basra, I don't think it can be an S. I don't think it can be an S. It's like a SA, but I think it's a high A. I think it's like an A+. It has a lot of big choke points, although fun, can get super stompy. Both at the airport and if you do CAF Basra. So let's look at it here. Basra with the main up here and the main down here, there's a lot of nothing. Even the AAS layers, usually it results into just holding refinery. And if you hold refinery, you win. I really like playing it, but I don't know if it could be S. If you hold on to refinery, you're gonna choke them out. I think a low B? I don't know. I'm thinking we're going for an A. I absolutely love fighting over the airport. I absolutely love fighting over the desert between the airport and Alcora. VCP and North VCP Ruins is super fun. You got enough micro terrain and hills and stuff. And the city's dated. The city is super dated, but it is fun. Like, let's be real, guys. If Basra comes up, you're probably not disconnecting, right? You're like, oh, Basra, we'll play Basra. Fighting over mosque is boring. Fighting over mosque might be boring, but fighting throughout the city is not. And mosque is just 1 point. Refinery is fun. Alcora is fun. The island is fun. Different suburbs are fun. Airport's fun. VCP is great if you can fob it up. I think it's an A, not an A+. I think an A. Maybe verging on A- if the city was updated a bit more. I think it might be improved. Bel Air. Is it B for Bel Air? I am one of the Z tier. I don't not like Bel Air. You hate this map. It's almost like a better Camdash. I enjoy it, but not. It funnels too many people. Like, it doesn't make sense. I like playing it. I think it can be fun. I think Invasion can be fun. But, like, these roads don't make sense, dude. Do these roads make sense? Does anything about this map make sense? I almost feel like you need one big highway and some little roads and some other stuff. I mean, they added helicopters. I don't think that saved it. These maps are all good when you're on the winning team. I don't know. Some maps just suck. If Bel Air comes up in rotation and you were considering like whether or not to play again, would Bel Air convince you to turn off the game? I feel like a lot of people like they would stop playing when Bel Air comes up. Like, it's Bel Air, whatever. I'll go eat some food. I'll just wait. I'll come back in about an hour. Bel Air, I think, honestly, I like some of the points of interest. I like some of how it flows. I don't get Bel Air. I think a lot of the engagements are super predictable. I don't think there's many ways you can play Bel Air. I like Bel Air, but not because it's a good map. I like Bel Air because of some of the points that you can have on Invasion, and I don't think it's okay with just having one game mode be super fun. I think it's a D. And I think I'm being generous. But like F is, we'll get to F, but I think it's a D. I think it's Winter Camdish. Dude, C at best. I think it's a C at best. Korra, everyone's favorite map. Everyone's favorite map, right? What do you guys think? Korra. We just played it. S tier? F tier? How is Korra S tier and how is Korra F tier? We have to also remember we're taking into all the different game modes. We're taking all the different types of all the different ways you can play. Best micro terrain? That's not true. I don't agree with that at all. People only like it because of the weed farm. Oh man, Korra S tier because Moi hates it. Oh god. It's so predictable, way too predictable. Get rid of the walls. Okay, I will say though, with we now have, oh god, what is it? The scimitar. The scimitar actually can utilize this map pretty well. I think you can have fun in Korra, but I don't know if it's like the best of the best. I don't think it's a C or D or F. I dislike Korra, but I'm not that objectively biased that I can see it's that bad of a map. Like, yes, it's hard to drive. Yeah, like Belia, it plays the same, but it almost like doesn't make sense. At Korra at least kind of makes sense, you know. Just because it's small doesn't mean it's a bad map. It definitely is linear. It's linear enough for new players to not get lost. Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm trying to not put RAS into it because RAS usually gets kind of weird. AAS, you just rush the caps. Invasion is fun. I mean, I think like from a design point, like this makes sense. You have a nice river. I've had really good fights, I think, over every objective here. I've had some good vehicle rounds in this one as well. You can definitely have engagements, I think, everywhere on the map, and it can be fun. I don't like, just because I don't like it, I don't think that means it's necessarily bad. There's some really fun, like I've had some of my coolest moments in squad were having a mortar fob, having infantry pushes, having a vehicle supporting. Territory control is even not too bad, and you can get really good pushes. Because of how linear it is, it actually helps the gameplay. Linear can be a good thing. I don't like that the gameplay is usually the same over and over again, which is why I don't like it. Like other maps, I think you can kind of swap it up a little bit. I think this is an A. 100%. I don't think it can be an S because of the such repetitive gameplay. Such repetitive gameplay. Fallujah. Fallujah. Void. Korra A tier, I'm unsubbing. Just because it's A tier doesn't mean I like it. I'm trying to be reasonable. A, S, I'm seeing B, S. I like Fallujah. I really like Fallujah. And optimization aside, I think Fallujah has some of the best all types of fighting. All types of fighting. Best infantry. Best urban. Vehicle combat on the outskirts. You can have some good vehicle combat. When you're in the city, you need to have infantry support. There's many ways around. I feel like you can play different games on Fallujah depending how you want to play. You can go full infantry and just hold a block. You can also play and grab a couple vehicles and try to push up and just stay mobile and be successful. You can have a fob down here, be a fire base, call in indirect, and then push up and be successful. There's enough variance in the map itself. Like you have some lower like income residential slums here. You have commercial district. You have a palace. You have actually some good, not like rural agricultural areas. You have the highway. I know people are gonna say it's not an S because of optimization. I think this is an S tier. I think Fallujah is one of the best maps Squad has put out. The flow is great. The layers, I think they're relatively good. It's just super fun. If Korra is A, Fallujah has to be S. I think Fallujah is S. All right, guys, Fool's Road. Fool's Road. Let me hear it. What do you guys think? D? S? F? F minus? D? Point blank F and move on. No meme, it's an F. Map really does suck. C at best. I think C at best is actually a huge compliment. It's very difficult. You have a lot of nothing that isn't really fun to fight over. This is such a horrible point of interest. I dislike it immensely. Hill 57, I don't know. It's like Hill 57, Hill 63, Hill whatever. There's all of this potential and it sucks. I don't think there's any other discussion on it. I don't like any of the points of interest. I think the saving grace of this map is this area right here. This area on some layers is super fun. You can fob this up, you can fob this up, you can create a valley of destruction, and it is fun. And that is about 15% of the map. I dislike it. It's an F. Gorodok. Let me hear it, guys. Gorodok. Goro, big S. Borodok. S tier, definitely. To the top. B. A+. Gorodok without helicopters is a D tier map. With it, it's A. My problem with Gorodok is that I don't feel like the layers really put you to where Gorodok shines. Fortified Farm, Soloninki, the farm, like this area is actually has some really fun terrain. Usually only vehicles fight over here, but infantry can get sucked in if they're over in industrial. The gas town is kind of fun, or a gas station, I guess, rather. Neva and Radio Tower, this whole area needs to be reworked. I hate the repetitive nature of this, but that's just a small part of the map. You've great terrain. You've got some hills. You've got some cliffs. You've got some valleys. You've got micro terrain. You've had some good firefights. Infantry fights can be really good. I do think though, it focuses on Neva and Radio, which is a disappointment. Because if you guys have ever fought up here and even this one right here, I'm blanking on what this objective's called. If you guys have ever fought up here for not invasion, it's really fun. I do also like, is it Spy Farm down here? Somewhere over here is Spy Farm. There's a lot of really cool points here. It's weird. It's almost all of the times that I think of like good Goro games, it's not necessarily on the objective. Goro is always a good game. I think that is such a good point. I think it's an A. I think it's an A. A solid A. A+ maybe. Camdash. S tier? Oh, come on, Mike. You guys want to laugh? Let's look at Camdash. What is this? Who in their right mind? I want to talk to the city planner of these roads. I believe, because I was told this, and I think I remember it from Fuzzhead, Camdash was created as a way to test roads. And you know what's really funny? Is that the roads suck. The test failed, and Camdash is horrible. How do you make a map solely on testing roads and you can't even get roads right? This is horrible, dude. The objectives are the same. Every little town here is the same town, plucked off, dropped somewhere else. I don't know where I'm at sometimes because it's the same thing. You could actually have a kind of a cool map if you dropped the huge refinery and quarry of Narva and had surrounding areas kind of like Camdash. I would be so on board with that. Double up, make this a huge freaking mining area. Like Control-C, Control-V, the Narva quarry refinery power plant. Have some weird rolling hills, have this little thing, have a giant storage site, and just make it kind of like a hilly, weird point of interest. It is a hard F. There's no way around it.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Lawless, I'm sorry. Did you assist? Were you a consultant Were you a consultant for Camdesh development? I didn't realize. Kohat. Out A B C D E F G H. Kohat. Kokan afterwards. Kohat. Kohat. A B C F F main. The thing is, Kohat, you either love it or you hate it. I feel like there's no middle ground. Like, I feel like people, they either see Kohat and they just uninstall Squad for a couple days, or they call their buddies and say, yo, Kohat's on, dude, let's rock it. I really enjoy Kohat. Kohat is a walking simulator if you do it wrong. Dude, every map can be a walking simulator if you try hard enough. Kohat is potentially one of the best maps that has been developed. There's a lot of ways to fight in Kohat. And they've created a valley, mountain, whatever you want to call it, where vehicle players can be successful, infantry players can be successful, the one guy who wants to sit on a tow fob can be successful, a Logi driver is going to hate himself, helicopters can have fun. There's so much good terrain in Kohat. You can have such good firefights literally anywhere on this map. The downside, and I think people dislike this map, is because of the layers. The issue is the layers force you guys to play very the same. They force you guys to get stuck at Hangu Pitch and then just get shot out by my stupid fob for 40 minutes, and then you end up on the other side of a YouTube video. That's not the map's fault. That's the layer's fault. I am sorry if I offend you. Kohat is an S tier map. I almost want to put it higher than Fallujah. Kohat is an S tier map. And I'm sorry that you've had times where you've had to walk. And I'm sorry that there's times that you've had to get absolutely dumped from 1,500 meters. It is a great map. It is a fantastically well-designed map. At any point, pluck an infantry squad, drop an infantry squad, you're going to have a good time. Kokan. Let me hear it. C, D, F. Credibility of this list is gone. I am so sorry that you've been mortared to all hell on Kohat. Reposition, use the hills, flank, and have fun, man. It's a hell of a map. Kokan is Korra, but even more boring. A, F, C, D. Oh, man, you guys are all over the place. Are you serious? I've had more fun on Kokan than Fool's Road, than Camdesh, and Belia is tough for me because I feel like I really... Like, Belia was one of the first maps I played. Kohat was actually the first map I ever played. If we were doing this 6 months ago, Kokan would get probably D tier for me. Do you guys remember Kokan without all of the little hedgerow type stuff, the little agricultural ditches? Do you guys remember that? I feel like for Kokan, you have to accept it for what it is. It's a little farming town, and you're fighting in little farmland. When you didn't have all the ways for the infantry to push across, like now, I've had fun games in between each of these little towns. I've had kind of some good firefights over here. I think vehicles, it's not really a vehicle map, but if you can have some solid Mat V pushes. Like, I can't see, this is like a mid-tier map. It can be fun. You can have some good games. You're kind of just like whatever. You're kind of like, okay, Kokan's up. You know, maybe I'll try Iron Sight Rifleman. Maybe I'll try Marksman. Maybe I'll try AT. I think Kokan is a solid S. Or S. No! No! Solid C. Not an S. It's a C. It's mid-tier. Lashkar Valley. A, C, F? F for FPS. Oh, God. F tier frames. Oh, man. Lashkar Valley. The map that promised us Aussies. I'm trying to move away from the optimization issues and pretend that, let's say they're all optimized. Let's try to, you know, the inherentness of the map, you know? Like these types of hills, I've had firefights here. This valley is so cool. Like, this is so cool. Like, I actually really like down here in the east side here. But the issue is there's just so much. There's so much and you can't see. Like, a lot of times I don't have much fun on this map. And no matter the game mode. The very few times I've had fun on this map is I'm stuck on a fob somewhere and people are running at us. If you just cut out certain sections of it, it can be really good. I would rather, I guess what it comes down to is I like the idea of it. I think it's the worst execution of it though. This one is tough. I like so much of what this wants to be. And I think that's what I'm struggling with. I think Kokan is a C. I think Belia is a C minus. And I think Lashkar is a D. I'm unsure, as I think more of Belia. Belia might be C minus. Lashkar is a D. I like the idea of it. I think the execution is horrible, and it creates a situation where everybody just hates playing on the map. Logar Valley. CD, Defo B. This is like one of those maps where I feel like you have to appreciate for what it is. I think visually it looks great. In places on the hills, you can have close quarters fighting down below. This is one of those maps where it's kind of always played the same, but it's so small that it's not necessarily a bad, like, it's not a negative thing. I've had a mortar fob over here, and then I try to support infantry. You have multiples, you know, a squad up here providing fire support. You have squads going in through here with light vehicles. You know, it might not be like super cinematic and stuff, but it can be super fun. Some of like my most fun I've had all up in the middle here of just firefights. And you're house to house, basically block to block. Like I kind of like it. It's just I think I get sick of it. I think it's an A. One of these maps than Logar. I don't think it deserves a B. I think Logar is an A. I think Logar is an A. It's Cora is an A minus, maybe a B plus. Logar is an A. Al Basra, Gora A plus. I do enjoy Logar. Manic. This is Manic. Do we need to talk about Manic? A lot of people hate Manic. I don't mind Manic. I actually kind of really like Manic. Manic is one of those maps you can have a great game and you can have a horrible game. And it kind of depends on how your squad goes. I really dislike this huge river here. Not river, sorry. This huge road here, because what tends to happen is that everybody pushes and fights over Upper Bay no matter what it is. Vehicles have the straight shot. I mean, this down here can be fun. It's just super easy to get to. This up here is super fun. Straight S plus. Ferp, I think you're crazy. Needs, I don't know what it needs. You know what? It's an okay map. It's not bad. It's not great. I think it's a B. Not great, not terrible. All right, Mestia. D, D, B, C, D.
I can't watch this anymore. Just take my money. I am going back to Cam Dash.
Based on this list, nobody else will see you on Cam Dash Lawless. S tier, ride or die, you crazy. The one good layer on this map is the 7-point AAS layer, because it forces you not to steamroll this map. By divvying up this map into 7 points, you almost artificially create people to play in places that maybe they shouldn't play in. I hate AS, but it is the only layer that makes this somewhat bearable. It's just, it is so much this. It is so much this, and it is so much this. In saying that, I kind of like it, dude. I kind of like slamming in a warehouse and seeing who comes out the other side. I'm not saying I play it every day. I kind of like charging up the hill. I kind of like taking the towers. I'm not saying it's an A. I'm not saying it's a B. I'm not saying it's an S, and I'm not saying it's an F. I'm talking to you right now, all right? Yo, there's no one else is here. I'm talking. This is a one-on-one, on one. There's a small part of you. You've been part of a squad, okay? You loaded up in a Mat V. You loaded up in another Mat V, and your squad leader says, get ready, we're going to warehouse. And you're excited. It can be fun. I think the objectives are a little weird. I don't like the flow. After talking about Lashkar, after talking about Mestia, I am fully confident that Belia is a solid C, C minus, and Mestia is a D. Every once in a while, I have fun. Every once in a while. But that doesn't make it a good map. I'm moving Belia ahead of Kokan, or I guess it's either about the same part. And then we're putting Mestia B plus above Lashkar. A lot of the time it's a grind and it kind of sucks, but you can have fun. Mutaha, one of the newer maps. Oh man. SSSSA. Ho ho ho. An amazingly good map. This is probably one of the more well-designed maps in the game. It has some of the best points of interest. It has some of the best flow. The game modes in Squad let down Mutaha. The game modes in Squad force you to play over 3 points. This crane, ammo police, which is like the same point, and like school. There are some layers, like some of the calf layers, that zigzag you around, and you have some great fights over here. And you have some great fights over here. If anyone here has listened to this and you happen to live in Vancouver and you happen to work at OWI, give us an invasion map on Mutaha that is literally the same exact invasion V1 layer and make it daytime. I want to spend an hour and a half daytime in Mutaha, and I want to have fun because Mutaha deserves that. Mutaha needs a daytime invasion. I like nighttime invasion once in a while. I might also be a little bit biased because if I try to stream or record, it tends to get too dark. Mutaha is S tier. Mutaha is one of the best maps in Squad. There are layers that have let Mutaha down, and it is a disappointment because Mutaha is such a good map. I love Mutaha. Absolutely love it. Mutaha, Kohat, Lucia. Narva. Where's my Estiat? I'm Estonian and I say it's a B. Well, yeah, pack it up. I think a lot of people are going to say S and A. And I think I'm going to piss a lot of people off when I say I don't agree. I get very sick of Narva. I think it's a very lopsided map. This whole side, the whole east side, is so against whoever spawns over there. It's almost oppressive. It is so difficult to play this map if you are red 4. It forces you to play south when you shouldn't play south. And the issue with south here is that this is so accessible from every other part of the map that it's very difficult. Until Russia gets amphibious vehicles, you're still gonna have Logis. Dude, a Logi isn't gonna be amphibious. Armor player bias. I love armor. I might be a little biased here, but I'm trying to check my bias at the door. It is so easy to get over here if you're on the west side. And that's why I think it's unbalanced. Like this needs something. This is kind of weird. It's like I kind of get it, but it's almost like an afterthought. Let me ask the peanut gallery. What happens when you're seeing this? You're either driving by in a vehicle or you're getting killed because you just happen to, I don't know, walk and forget where you're going, and then literally every place on the map shoots you. And that's this whole side. Up top here is usually just a vehicle playground. This is where Narva shines. I like a good portion of this map, and that's where I have fun. Uru Village can be fun. It can get exhausting. All down here kind of sucks. It's a B. I have fun on it. He's got one right. Wow, something we agreed on. Is this OP First Light? This is where I lose everybody. I never played this map. I'm a Squad baby. I never played Squad when this map was current. I started playing Squad in 2019. This map didn't exist. I started playing Squad January 2019. Pro Mod had a version of OP First Light. I played it. Dude, I hated it, man. I've played maybe like an hour of it. I didn't have fun. OP First Light. I didn't have fun with this. Do you guys like the map because of nostalgia, or was it genuinely a good map? I will never pretend I played OP First Light. I never have an attachment to OP First Light, which is unfortunate. I really wish I could have played it because of how much the community loves it. I feel like I've missed out on something amazing. I feel like I've missed out on Yeho with the sword sight. I feel like I've missed out on something super, super fun. And then having played it on Pro Mod, it's just disappointing because maybe it's just a bad game or whatever. We're going to have to leave this one on the side. I'm curious what you guys are saying on it. A lot of people love it. I unfortunately have never played it. Scorpo. F, B, A, C, D. US main is stupid. Sometimes that's not US main. Never had truly a great match on. I've had some good matches in Scorpo. I've had a lot of grindy ones. What tends to happen with Scorpo is a lot of people get stuck fighting here, which, like, it sucks. And the problem is there's a lot of here. There's a lot of this on this map. Like the Kohat Hills, I feel like I don't have a problem with. The Scorpo Hills, I hate. I don't know if it's the way the hill is designed, but Kohat Hills for me makes sense. Scorpo Hills for me are just a pain in the ass. And it takes away from my enjoyment of having a firefight. Like I like fighting over here. The shipyard has potential to be fun. The shipyard would be fun if you could have different angles, you know? I like the shipyard. I like the idea of the shipyard, but not really here. The Scorpo proper is so much fun. I like the cliff on the east side. I like kind of the hills on the south side. There's enough micro terrain. You can have some really good firefights here. You can have really close quarters firefights here, and then you can actually have you're fighting from the north side to the south side and back and forth. This island can be fun. Usually it's just a meme. Like, I have fun firefights here, man. The firefights are not good enough, though. I feel like there's so much garbage in between that it takes away from the experience. This has a tendency to play like Lashkar, where sometimes you have a lot of fun. I think it's better than Lashkar, but I think it's like a D. If you're being generous on certain layers, it might pull out to a C-. It's a D. I would rather play Belia than this. How is it better than Lashkar? Because Lashkar is a D. It is Norwegian Lashkar. Let's be real. There are some really good fights you can have in Lashkar. If Scorpo comes up at 1 in the morning, it will kill a server. If Lashkar comes up at 1 in the morning, it will kill a server. Scorpo, I like the idea of Scorpo. I like some parts of it. Scorpo is Norwegian Lashkar. Samari, I'm interested to see what you guys think about Samari. Literally, no one plays Samari. S+? C? F? Samari is tough. You know, we're talking about how you can play different ways and that being a successful map sometimes. Sometimes a map is designed for only type of one playstyle. Samari Invasion is amazing if it had no other layers. I love Samari Invasion. For the most part, I enjoy the Sandy City maps the best. So it's an S for me. S? No one plays Samari. Potato Fields is playing it right now. Are we actually playing it right now? What's our map right now? Show map. Are you guys playing Samari Invasion right now? Samari Invasion is one of the most fun games that you can have in squad. It is chaotic. It's fun. The close quarters is nonsense. You have some fun fighting in the fields up here. It's one layer. That, like, if this was a layer tier list, Samari Invasion is near the top. It is literally only used to meme around on Samari Invasion and to seed. And you know why it's seed? Because it's so weirdly designed, it forces everyone so close. Just like Basra, what do you mean? Some of the AS layers are super fun. Basra has great insurgency games, great AS, Invasion. Invasion has multiple layers. You have Invasion V2, Invasion V1, CAF Invasion from down south. You have great points of interest. You have VCP. You have Alcora. You have the city. You have airport. You have great design in Basra. And Samari is if you vomited up urban onto a rice field. Most people play it for one reason, and that's to see the server. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I have had fun in Samari. But where I usually have fun is one meme layer and when I'm seeding and messing around. I will say, if Samari AAS came up, I would probably have more fun than like a freaking, you know, one of these maps. It's not a good map. It's a good map for what it is, and that is urban blah. If you want TDM, you play Samari. I want to put it as a D. I think it's a D. It's higher than the other Ds, but it's a D. I'm actually saving Talil for last, okay? Because I want to talk about Yeho and Goose Bay first. I feel like Goose Bay is not going to be controversial. I feel like Yeho is a little bit controversial, and I feel like Talil is super controversial. So we're going now backwards. Goose Bay, brand new map. Wow, you guys are all over the place. So this used to be Nana Civic, right, guys? This is probably one of the better maps that has ever been designed in squad. Goose Bay has some of the best micro terrain, some of the best foliage, some of the best forests, some of the best points of interest in all of squad. It is such a good map. Like, I think it's right around here. There's like a like an entrenched position, and you have some foliage and rocks and stuff right here. You have this area, which is like a huge rocky valley, which is super cool to fight over. You have airport, which gives you those long sight lines where you can actually fob up here. Dude, I've had games where you have two enemy fobs. You have a fob right here with one team, a fob right here with another team. And it is hard, but it's fun. You have people flanking around and trying to do stuff. You have vehicles coming around trying to support. You literally have teams right next to each other, fighting it out, slugging it out on an airport, while the rest of the team tries to do other things. And it's not wrong. Like, that is good for me. That, in my opinion, that is good. We've had games where I tried to do airport didn't work. We instead held the pipeline. Go up here, go to Shimmick, try to hold here. This point of interest is so cool. You have a lighthouse, you have a couple bridges, you have this you can actually walk over. I don't know if you can walk over this one. This is cool. Down here is rarely played, but this is kind of like a whatever place. Overall, though, like, it looks great. It plays really well. This is some of the most fun invasion fighting, I think. I don't think I've ever had necessarily bad games on this, no matter the game mode. Like, the rolling hills, the elevation, all that type of stuff, it's great. A lot of these parts can be whatever, but when you look at the certain points of interest, some of them are super fun. You have great infantry, you have great vehicle games, helicopters can be successful. It's your favorite map. It's one of my favorite maps. I think it's a solid A. I think it could be an S-. I think it's definitely the best A out here. Whoops. It's definitely the best A. It might be an S. This, to me, is such borderline S. It blows all the other A's out the water. Let's look at Yeho. A, A, B, S, C. Okay, it seems to be trending towards A. A few S's. Amazing vehicle map, varied layers, great infantry fights. Actually, A. The layers let this map down. This is one of the maps where I feel, once again, the layers let him down. I love playing this map. The layers, though, force you to always play Novo, which sucks. Mogi? What is Mogi? Mogi is copy-pasted 3 different times. Mogi is Paradove. Mogi is lower pet. All of these things kind of play the same. And that's my biggest complaint. I like Step. I think this is kind of cool. Then you have Step Dairy. You have this nice ridge here. Novo itself is fine. Airfield is fine. Shevchenko Quarry. I like all of this. I think the layer makes Belovia suck even more because usually you have Russia main that comes and camps Belovia. But I can't, like, that's a layer problem. I think a lot of the copy-paste towns feel boring. Bog Camp is fun. This is super fun to fight in. I've had so much fun either in a Bradley, BMP, BTRs, Strikers, just Mat V's and infantry, helicopters, tanks. The only reason I look at Yeho and feel like, oh man, is if I have to go to airfield. It is weird to consider putting Yeho on the same type of A as Goose Bay, because Goose Bay is such a better map. It's about the same as Goro, but I think Goro has better points of interest. That's the issue I have. The issue with Goro is you black hole Neva Lower and Radio. When you have Yeho, you actually black hole almost an entire section of the map. Like, how many times have you guys played Yeho and it's all on here? It's all Novo and airfield. In saying that, that's just a game mode problem, right? There is so much of the map that is copy paste of elsewhere in the map, and so much of the map that is I like playing it, but it can be boring. You know, it can be very predictable. The points of interest can be boring. It kind of reminds me of just a bigger Narva where you kind of know what's going to happen. It's not a bad thing. I have fun playing Yeho. I think it's a B+. Oh man, I don't know if I can live with myself with Korra being better than Yeho. Probably the most controversial one, Talil Outskirts. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know your comments below, because this is definitely going to YouTube. So if you missed some of this, don't worry. We'll throw it on there. Talil Outskirts. Talil is an instant disconnect? Talil will kill a server at 1 a.m.? Oh my goodness. No way. No way. You guys hate Talil that much? It's hot or cold, left or right. There's no middle ground. Talil is an S, very unique. Armor feels epic. Infantry is difficult, just the way I like it. Talil is the server killer. This is also going to be something that might frustrate people. Talil is actually, I think, well designed, but people don't like it, and people don't want to adjust their playstyle. Up here is kind of weird. Down here is kind of weird. And I know there's people right now in the chat saying you like armor, so you obviously like Talil. There's no argument. I think it's one of the best vehicle maps. All fighting occurs in the middle. There are no POIs. There are POIs. They're like you guys are saying it's the best vehicle map. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have had some of the best infantry fighting in this part of squad. The thing is, though, it's okay if you fight over this giant POI. But what I mean is that you can do a lot of different things on this map. I feel like people get into Talil and they just hate it because they get killed by a tank somewhere. To have a very successful Talil game, I think it requires one of the most coordinated teams out there. You can have people control the entire map from ATC, but if you don't do it right, you get rolled all the way to Ali Air Base. You can have people set up on Ali Air Base, and then you can go a big ass flank, set up on Madzai, assault into Ali Air Base, and now you can control this. And because of how the points are set up, you could actually turn this point into an enemy location while your friendlies are up north holding on to like you can create pockets of actual firefights. You can create pockets of fun in different parts of the map. Because of how wide open it is, you now concentrate firefights in very specific areas that can be dictated by players. I know for a fact there's somebody out there who has had a game where they felt like they spent almost entirely on Gastown, and every other person was attacking from every different angle. People who have set up on Ali Air Base and got overwhelmed from a sneak attack somewhere. You have people who got stuck on Iraqi hangars or abandoned, and they are cut off and fighting for their lives. And you can actually survive if you do it well. And while that's all happening, while infantry are fighting for their lives to hold on to the one hangar they have, you can have helicopters come in, provide air cover. You can have vehicles come in and protect the flank. You can have vehicles come in and cut people off. Mahat-ur, Modikel, Madzai. You know what? You know why I keep forgetting this name? Because it doesn't matter. Who cares about this place? It doesn't matter. It's a pass-through town. You only play this one if the team gets stomped and you're there, or if it's invasion, right? I absolutely love Talil. I absolutely love Talil Outskirts. The only reason I don't think it's an S is that really without 100% teamwork, this map makes the games just fall apart. I hate this map. Most often than not, pub games are rough. I love this map. Talil is the A-est A that could ever aid. Goose Bay is now an S-. Talil is the A-est A that could ever A. I think it has great infantry balance. 100%. I think you could do so much on Talil. It is crazy. Okay, so let's talk about our final tiers. Our S tier maps. The best map in squad is Mutaha. Second best in squad, Kohat. Give me the salty tiers. Second best map in squad, Kohat. Third best, Fallujah. And our fourth S tier map is Goose Bay. Kohat is great. Goose Bay is S. A tier is Talil, Goradak, Al-Basra, Korra, and Logar. What I want people to understand, and this is what you guys almost convinced me, these maps are designed, like Korra and Logar are designed to be something different. And that difference is a very small area, a very like localized infantry heavy, a lot of fire and move, a lot of setup, some indirect and support you. That's just what it is. Okay. B tier is Yeho, Narva, and Manic. Manic is a B-, maybe a close C+. C tier we have Kokan and Belia. D tier, we have Samari, Scorpo, Mestia, and Lashkar. And then F tier, we have Fool's Road and Kamdesh. Not included is OP First Light. It ain't in the game no more. It don't count. There we go. All right, on a scale from S to F, how do you guys rate my map tier list? Oh man, I'm sorry that you guys get shot in Korra. I get shot in Korra and I hate it.